Your first rule is painfully simple. Never ask ChatGPT for a specific magic stock to buy. It's a research assistant, not a crystal ball. Treat it like an oracle, and it'll happily hallucinate away your life savings. But if you feed it the right prompts, it becomes your personal Wall Street analyst. Here is how to build a bulletproof plan. Before you invest a dime, check your financial floor. Emergency savings, expensive debt, and near-term cash needs. Because investing your rent money isn't a bold wealth strategy, it's just eviction with extra steps. Once your floor is solid, provide ChatGPT with your goal, timeline, monthly amount, and risk tolerance to get a usable research brief. And explicitly state your country, because taxes and account types change wildly by location. Next, ask ChatGPT to explain every term like you're financially house-trained. Because if you cannot explain the investment, you do not understand the risk. Ask for 3 portfolio examples: conservative, balanced, and aggressive. Then ask how each behaves in a crash. If a 30% market drop makes you panic sell, plan for that reality now. To lock yourself in, ask ChatGPT to draft an investment policy statement that defines your goal, allocation, contributions, and selling rules. Let's hit the lab. Ask the AI to compare funds using objective, holdings, diversification, fees, liquidity, and tax treatment. Because diversification reduces concentration risk, but it does not cancel market losses. And remember, 1 stock is a position. 10 stocks is not a retirement plan. Here's the catch. AI lies. It wants to please you so badly, it'll invent numbers. So tell it, every important number needs a source and a date. Then verify tickers, fees, holdings, and performance on primary documents like prospectuses and company filings. Now for the silent killer. Ask for total costs over 10, 20, and 30 years using the same contribution, return assumption, and time period. Because a tiny 1% fee can quietly eat decades of compounding. Assume an illustration of $10,000 initial, plus $300 monthly for 30 years at a 7% gross annual growth. At a 0.1% fee on those inputs, you would have about $438,000. At a 1% fee on those exact same inputs, you would have about $362,000. The gap between the 0.1 and 1% fee in the example costs roughly $76,000. That is a luxury car you are buying for a fund manager you've never met. Next, ask it to model dollar cost averaging. That means investing equal amounts at regular intervals. You are automatically buying more units when prices fall and fewer when they rise. Contributing $300 monthly for 30 years totals $108,000 contributed. But at a hypothetical 7% return, the $108,000 total contribution could grow near $366,000. Always ask ChatGPT to show the formula, assumptions, and sensitivity. Then recalculate independently. When researching a strategy, ask for the bull case, the bear case, and what evidence would prove the thesis wrong. Tell ChatGPT to challenge your assumptions and ask for missing data, hidden risks, and uncomfortable questions. And ask for low, base, and high scenarios that show assumptions, fees, and possible losses. To maintain this machine, build a monthly review checklist covering contributions, allocation drift, fees, and life changes. Ask ChatGPT to create rebalancing rules so one bad week doesn't rewrite a 30-year plan. And create an investment journal documenting your reasons, risks, and exit conditions. Now, a massive security warning. Never paste passwords, recovery codes, or bank logins into ChatGPT. Guaranteed returns, secret algorithms, high returns with low risk, and urgent pressure, those are red flags for scams. Finally, the ultimate test. Ask ChatGPT to quiz you until you can defend every choice in your plan. Because ChatGPT is a tool. It saves research time, but it should never replace your judgment. Hit subscribe so your broke era officially ends. We fix a new money disaster every week.